In a quiet town in the Midwest, a mute woman named Liz works as a midwife. She lives with her husband Eli and their two children. Matthew is Eli's son from a past marriage, and Sam is Liz's daughter. One Sunday, during church service, the community welcomes a new preacher, known only as the Reverend. As he speaks about false prophets who bring ruin to society, Liz grows more uneasy. Eli notices and checks on her, but she pretends everything is okay. After the service, Liz sees the Reverend touch the belly of a pregnant woman named Abigail, and it worries her. Eli goes to introduce himself and the kids to the Reverend, but Liz stays behind in the carriage, wanting to avoid him. Suddenly, Abigail goes into labor and is taken back into the church. Liz steps in to help her but notices the Reverend watching her. He disappears soon after. Sadly, the baby is too big to deliver safely, and Liz is forced to choose between saving Abigail or the child. She ends the baby's life to save the mother. Later at home, Eli tries to comfort Liz, telling her it was God's will and not her fault. But Liz blames the Reverend, though Eli thinks she's just imagining things. The next day, Liz tries to visit Abigail, but her husband Nathan won't let her in. He says the Reverend already brought a doctor. That night, Liz hears a sound outside and gets out of bed to check. Suddenly, a bullet smashes through the window. It's Nathan. Drunk and angry, he set a carriage on fire and is shooting at their house, blaming Liz for his baby's death and saying she should burn in hell. Eli tries to calm him down, but Nathan won't listen. Just then, the Reverend shows up and talks Nathan into leaving. He also puts out the fire. Liz begs Eli not to let the Reverend in, but Eli is thankful and invites him for a drink. While the men talk, Liz stays in another room. The Reverend tells Eli that Liz chose who should live and who should die, something only God should do. Feeling uneasy, Eli checks on Liz, who's hiding behind the wall. The Reverend, knowing she's there, says he's here to punish her, then leaves when Eli returns. Eli scolds Liz for not greeting or thanking the Reverend. Liz tells him they need to leave, but Eli thinks she's just scared of Nathan. He promises they'll leave in a few days after he finds someone to care for their sheep, and then they'll go to his father's house. The next morning, they find all the sheep have been brutally killed. One pregnant sheep even had her belly sliced open to kill the unborn lamb. Eli thinks Nathan did it and takes Matthew into town to confront him. Meanwhile, Liz covers Sam's eyes so she doesn't see the horror, then starts cleaning the barn. Suddenly, someone locks the barn door. Liz panics. Peeking through a crack, she sees the Reverend taking Sam away. She tries to climb up to the window, but the stool tips over and she knocks herself out. In town, Eli finds that Nathan has moved away. When he returns, he finds Liz waking up in the now unlocked barn. She tells him the Reverend trapped her and took Sam. Luckily, Sam is safe and was resting in the back of the house. That night, Liz asks Sam what the Reverend said to her. Sam asks if her mom is bad, saying the Reverend claimed Liz killed someone and that he came to take her back with him. Later that night, Liz sneaks out while Eli sleeps and rides to the church with a knife in hand. She searches the Reverend's room but only finds Sam's doll under the blanket. Back at home, the Reverend sneaks in and watches the family sleep. Eli wakes up and checks the barn, where he hears a noise. As he enters, the Reverend attacks and stabs him. When Eli asks why, the Reverend replies, "Because she loves you." When Liz returns, she finds Eli bleeding with his intestines wrapped around his neck. He begs her to end his suffering, but she can't. Matthew arrives and offers to do it. With his dying breath, Eli asks Matthew to take the family to his father's house. Matthew shoots him. Liz hears Sam calling and runs outside to see the house in flames. The family escapes in a carriage while the Reverend watches the fire, holding the doll. A flashback shows a girl named Joanna walking through the desert. She collapses but is found by a foreign family in a carriage. They bring her to a town and hand her over to a tavern owner named Frank. At first, Joanna is happy to get food and rest. But soon, she realizes this tavern is actually a brothel, and she's been sold. When she tries to escape, the family is gone, and Frank traps her. That night, she can't sleep due to hearing a girl named Sally with a client. Afterward, Sally tells Joanna she screams to make things end quicker. She also learns Joanna has already had her period but promises to keep it secret. Joanna starts working as a waitress at the tavern. One night, a man wants to be with her, but Frank says no and gives him Sally instead. The man, however, stares at Joanna the whole time and slaps Sally. Scared, Joanna grabs the man's gun and points it at him. He tells her to keep aiming. It excites him. Then, he chokes Sally and orders Joanna to watch. Joanna freezes and doesn't shoot, and the man finishes. He then turns on Joanna, but Sally shoots him. The next day, Sally is hanged for murder. Frank tells a grieving Joanna she's no longer a child and abuses her. Years later, Joanna becomes a working woman like Sally and uses her tricks. One day, a man challenges Frank to a duel for killing his daughter. Frank wins, but Joanna sees another man at the window and realizes Frank cheated. In her free time, Joanna hangs out with her best friend Liz, who also works at the brothel. They dream of leaving the town for good. During a busy night, a customer harasses Liz, and she bites his tongue. The crowd turns on her, so Frank punishes her by cutting out her tongue. Later, a doctor teaches Liz how to care for the wound. Since she can't talk anymore, he gives her a book on sign language. Joanna learns with her so they can still talk. Once Liz can sign, she tells Joanna she wants to kill Frank. One day, they meet a matchmaker who found a man willing to marry Liz. His name is Eli, and he has a son. Liz agrees and invites Joanna to come along, saying they can pretend to be sisters. Back at the tavern, while packing, Frank calls all the women to entertain a client who paid a lot. It turns out to be the Reverend. Joanna is scared when she sees him. He chooses Joanna only. In the room, he says he knows her and has been searching for her. He admits to sinning and blames it on her, saying she must now save him. Joanna backs away, but the Reverend starts beating her with his belt. Liz hears and rushes in, cutting his face with a knife. The Reverend grabs her wrist and forces the knife into her chest. He announces Joanna will come with him, but she grabs the knife and slices his neck. Thinking he's dead, she places the knife in his hand and arranges the scene to look like they killed each other. She also takes his gold and sets the room on fire before escaping. Joanna goes to the doctor, asking him to cut her tongue. He can't do it, so she does it herself. She waits for Eli's carriage and pretends to be Liz so she can marry him. Another flashback shows Samuel fighting in the desert. After killing several men, the last one tries to run, but Samuel kills him too. As he prepares to leave, a man named Wolf survives and points a gun at him. Later, at a church, Joanna prays. The Reverend is her father, and she hears him beat her mother Anna every night. During service, he shames Anna in public. Soon after, Joanna gets her first period and thinks she's dying. She follows her parents and finds the Reverend whipping Anna in the barn. Anna finds Joanna's bloody clothes and explains it's normal. The Reverend overhears and tells Joanna she now has adult duties. While she feeds the animals, Samuel and Wolf arrive. Joanna gives them water and they collapse. She hides them in the barn and treats Samuel's wounds. The Reverend enters the barn, but the two men hide. He makes Joanna help him bathe, saying she'll now take over her mother's duties. Anna tries to distract him to protect Joanna, but it doesn't work. She later teaches Joanna to kill a pig, which leaves her shaken. Anna catches the Reverend staring at Joanna and argues with him. He beats her in front of Joanna. When the parents leave, Joanna brings food to the men. Samuel asks for rope. He then strangles Wolf while Joanna watches. Wolf shoots but misses, and Samuel feeds his body to the pigs. He tells Joanna that Wolf was a threat and warns her not to be passive like her mother. In town, the Reverend orders a cruel metal piece for Anna's mouth. At church, Joanna tells Anna death is better than abuse. Anna later kills herself in front of the crowd. The Reverend uses her death in his sermon. That night, Joanna runs to Samuel for comfort, but he gently refuses her. The next day, the Reverend tries to marry her. Joanna fights back, but he forces the metal in her mouth. Samuel arrives and throws a purse full of gold to distract him. He points a gun and gives Joanna the keys. But the Reverend grabs the gun and kills Samuel. He drags Joanna to the house, whips her, and assaults her. She escapes the next morning. In the present, Liz and the kids are traveling through snow. They hear the Reverend nearby. Liz hides with a gun, ready to shoot, but only a riderless horse appears. Later, their carriage hits a trap, and Matthew is shot by the Reverend. He dies in Liz's arms. They reach Eli's father's house. The old man is heartbroken when he hears of their deaths. Liz gets his gun and waits outside. The Reverend sneaks in and kills the old man. He catches Liz and Sam, ties Liz to a tree, and hurts Sam in front of her. While he's undressing, Liz breaks free, throws a lantern, and sets him on fire. As he screams, she shoots him, and he crashes through the window. Months later, Liz has turned the house into a sawmill. Nathan visits, now a sheriff. He found a wanted poster for the real Liz, who killed Frank to save Joanna. Believing Liz is her, he arrests her. Liz sees Sam with the workers and ends her life by jumping into the lake. Years later, Sam is grown with her own family and honors her mother's memory. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more stories like this. Thanks for watching.